The Rise and Fall of Simmons. Slavery ended in Kentucky on December 18, 1865 with the ratification of the 13th Amendment. This was a historic day for many people in the state. African Americans, in theory, had a chance at education in Kentucky since the state neither prohibited nor encouraged education for them. Though the state did not object to education, there were still boundaries because Kentucky was known for violently opposing the Freedom Burger schools, which was the only real source and chance that African Americans had in the early 19th century. The Kentucky General Assembly in 1874 created a separate state system of common schools for African Americans and legalized segregated public education in 1891. In the Commonwealth, the education of African Americans was the sole responsibility of the African American community and those persons and institutions sympathetic to their plight. Many states excluded African Americans from state-supported public and professional schools, including Kentucky. A symbol of African American pride and autonomy for African Americans in Kentucky and nationally was State University. State University was chartered as a university in 1884. State University was previously known as the Kentucky Normal and Theological Institute from 1879 to 1881. Located on Kentucky West Street between 7th and 8th Street, State University was owned and operated by the General Association of Colored Baptists in Kentucky and financially supported mainly by the voluntary contributions of African American Baptists, nationally and locally. State University was renamed Simmons University for William J. Simmons, a past State University president, in 1919. State Colored Baptist University, or State University, 1881 to 1918, was an African American owned and controlled higher education institution and the predecessor of Simmons University. Under the terms of its 1894 amended charter, State University was the only African American educational institution in Kentucky with the power to grant professional degrees in theology, medicine, and law. The school opened its doors under the direction of its first president, Reverend Elijah P. Mars. After a brief one-year tenure, Reverend Mars was succeeded by William J. Simmons. Simmons was an ex-slave who had greatly developed Howard University's teachers training programs. It was under the leadership of Dr. Simmons that the school would begin to flourish in such a way that it would eventually be renamed Simmons University in appreciation for its contributions. By 1893, the school had 159 students, and by 1900, it was offering professional degrees in nursing and in law in cooperation with the University of Louisville. Simmons University continued to grow and prosper. In 1918, Charles Parrish became president of the school, now called State University, and improved the school's endowment and academic offerings. Charles Parrish became a renowned figure at Simmons. He was an ex-slave who graduated at Simmons in 1886. He would become president in 1918 and would be the president until the dying days. He founded Extown Institute with William J. Simmons. Parrish would dedicate his time as president to trying to keep Simmons from dying. The school was becoming overcrowded and the buildings were outdated. He would use propaganda in the papers as fuel to try to keep the school alive. He would use his connections to the National Baptist Association and would try to get alumni to donate at least $100 a year, and he donated $1,000 himself. Parrish's efforts were not enough, though. African Americans did not fully appreciate and support Simmons College, though, because they felt they deserved education at public school. And as President Kent, the president of UL, says, Simmons was a pitiful excuse for a school. It set the tone for the death of Simmons and the birth of a new school. The University of Louisville in 1920 had a municipal bond issue that required a 2/3 affirmative vote for passage. A number of African American Louisvillians expressed their opposition to the bond issue on the grounds that no provisions had been made for the higher education of African Americans, and yet African Americans' tax dollars would be used for the support of higher education for whites. This issue opened the eyes to many African Americans in 1930. The school became Louisville Municipal College, a colored branch of University of Louisville. The effects of the Great Depression found its way to the school at Simmons School. In 1930, the campus was forced to sell its property due to a foreclosure on mortgage. As a result, the school significantly scaled back its offerings. In Louisville Municipal College for Negroes, it was created in Louisville, in part because African Americans believed that since they were paying taxes for education, they should also be able to attend this public school. This belief is part of the reason that Simmons failed. The death of Simmons was not a failure for African Americans in Louisville, though, but it was a stepping stone for them to a greater future, a better college, a future of desegregated schools, and at the time, a public education that was missing and was deserved of this proud group. From the start, Simmons College was doomed to fail in a racist society, where the majority wanted the minority to fail. Simmons proved the naysayers wrong, though, and did prosper for many years, but its death was really just the beginning. It can be compared to things like Christ and Christianity, because his death brought about the new life in everyone in the world, and he sacrificed himself. And Simmons' death, it brought about greater opportunities for African Americans in Louisville. And it kind of sacrificed itself in the same way.